Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer Show, episode 183, and today I'm going to review Donkey Kong Country 2. So, let's get started. I'll meet you guys in the jungle. Okay, now that I've got my Nintendo Wii set up YouTube, I can start the review. Now, Donkey Kong Country 2 is a pretty good platformer for the SNES. As far as I'm concerned, it's definitely not my favourite one in the series. A lot of people seem to like this game. I myself, I like it, but it's definitely not my favourite in the series. For now, my favourite would have to be either the new one for the Wii or the original Donkey Kong Country. Anyway, enough of my babbling, let's start the review. Donkey Kong Country 2, the story is pretty good. King K. Rool has kidnapped Donkey Kong, and Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong have decided to go and rescue him. So the story is pretty simple, but it's a good story. The multiplayer for this game, you can play. You can take turns to play the game. You can help each other out in levels, or you can do a contest mode where you can sort of like compete. See who can get which level's done. So it's not co-op. You can either help each other out by swapping characters all the time, or you can compete against each other, kind of like in the old Mario games. Graphics of the game. The graphics of the game, I think they're really, really good. There's some really nice 3D effects. Let me just find a level and I'll show some graphics. Let's try Top Sail Trouble. That sounds friendly enough. The controls of the game. The controls of the game, they're really, really good. I'll show you as I play. The arrows move you around. B button jumps. Now he plays Dixie Kong like I am here, who's got long blonde hair. Her blonde hair gives her the power to defy gravity for a little while. If you press if you press jump, then you press Y, you can hover in the air. If you also press B whilst running, I think, you can do a little spin attack. Diddy Kong, unfortunately, he can't hover, so he's probably my least favourite character out of the two you get to play as. But he's still got his little cartwheel move, just like he had in the previous game. If you want to switch cons, all you do is tap the A button, but at the moment I can't switch cons because I'm riding on top of this snake. It's been quite a while since I played this one on YouTube, so excuse me if I screw up a little bit. Whoa. I do find these sort of games difficult, although the Donkey Kong Country has always been difficult. Even the one they made late on last year. Music for this game. The music for this game is very good. It's got a nice set of music. It's probably some of the best tracks in the series, actually. The music's quite addictive, and sometimes I find myself humming it whilst I'm at work. There we go. Gameplay for this game. The gameplay for the game is a platformer. It's a very, very good platformer. It's one of my most favourite platformers on the Super Nintendo. I was once out of my auntie, and we went back to her house to play Donkey Kong Country. I can't remember if she had the second one, but she definitely had the first one, and that was where I began to get to know his series and like it. Well, since I'm playing as the Kong, now I'll talk about a few more controls. Press the A button, you can put, if you've got a second Kong in your party, you put the Kong on your head, and then you can throw your Kong to collect certain objects, which is quite useful. Press Y next to an object, you can pick up and lob it. Run and Y does your little spin attack. Oh. Damn crocodiles. So, all in all, the gameplay is very good. Good stuff about this game. Well, good stuff about this game, the gameplay is very good. It's got some great levels. A lot of them are very challenging. Some of my favourite levels are definitely the water levels. I really like the water levels. They're just really nice and relaxing to play. They can still be very difficult, but the music and the whole atmosphere just feels relaxing to me. I don't know why. Right, let's just shimmy up these ropes. Oh yeah. Go ahead, Dixie, rock out. The next thing I want to talk about YouTube are the bosses. They're just fine when I'll show you one off. Let's see, a boss. I think this is the boss. Yep, here we go. This is one of the very first bosses of the game. I'm always showing footage from the first half of the game because I don't want to spoil too much of it if you haven't played this game before. So what do I think of the boss in the game? Well, I think the bosses are very good. Most of them are quite challenging and most can be pretty difficult to beat. This one you've got to pick up its eggs and throw them back at it. Most bosses, if you start with 2 Kongs, if you lose one, you've pretty much lost it for the entire fight. In the final boss fight with King K. Rool, sometimes you can get a Kong back, but you've got to be really careful in this game, because if you lose your Kongs in a boss fight, most of the time the game won't let you go back and get them back. I'm just going to go to the operators guide and talk about a few other things now. Might go back to the boss in a moment. The first thing I want to talk about YouTube are the items and barrels. Throughout the game, you will have to collect a whole lot of stuff. The first important thing which you need to collect a lot of, and I really do mean a lot of, this item is overused throughout the entire game, and in some ways I wish it didn't even exist. The item I'm talking about is the banana coin. The banana coin, basically, this is the game's currency. If you want to save your game, it costs you coins. If you want to go back to previous levels, it costs you coins. If you want to earn more lives, it costs coins. If you want to take a quiz to earn more lives, it costs coins. If you even want to get a hint from Cranky, it costs coins. So everything in this game costs coins. And just before I started the review, I had to go through a few levels just to find some coins so I could go back to a previous level to just show some of the early stages of the game. So that was kind of annoying. So one of my main complaints with this game is that everything requires coins, and it's very annoying when it comes to saving your game, because if you want to save your game, you want to be able to save it. You don't have to go back to a previous level and get coins, because you might die. The second collectible on the list is the Kremlin coin. The Kremlin coin is pretty much worthless. It only does one thing in the game: it unlocks bonus levels, and personally, these coins are in really difficult places to get, and most of the time, I don't give a shit. The DK coins. The DK coins are pretty difficult to get. There are only 40 in the game, and they unlock extra levels and stuff like that. Throughout the game, you collect bananas. If you collect enough bananas, you can get a new life. Animal crates bring out animal friends to help you. I've already shown you off one that at the beginning of the review. That was the snake. Throughout the game, if you're lucky, I mean really lucky, you can find life balloons, which give you an extra life. And also, if you manage to collect all 4 Kong letters in one stage, you also get an extra life at the end of the level. Now that I've finished talking about items, let's talk about the animals themselves. In the game, there are quite a few animals. You got Rambi the Rhino. Rambi the Rhino is one of my most favourites. He can dash through enemies, which is pretty useful. He can't jump too high because he's just really heavy. He's also got a super dash, which lets you basically just charge through those enemies in one fast combo, which helps. You got his swordfish thing, which lets you charge at enemies underwater. Squirt the parrot, he doesn't really do that much. There are quite a few Squirt the parrot levels where you just the parrot all the time. He's basically got to fly through a level, but this time you can drop eggs on enemies, which does help quite a lot. It sort of makes the game into a very difficult side-scrolling shooter, kind of like R-Type. The rattlesnake. The rattlesnake really can't do that much. He can jump on enemies, and he's also got a super jump, but I very rarely use the super jump, but it does have its uses in certain places. The spider. The spider is one of my favourites, actually. The spider, he shoots web, obviously, but his web has several uses. If you press Y, you can just use the web to attack enemies. If you press B, you can shoot. You can just jump like normal. But the spider can't attack enemies whilst he's jumping. He has to shoot the enemies in order to kill them. He's a little bit weak in the jumping department, I suppose. But if you press the L and R buttons, you can shoot web platforms. And this is really useful because you can use web platforms to basically cheat your way out of doing really hard levels. I love this guy. Then you got Clapper. Clapper, he isn't an animal you can ride, but basically when you find him and jump on his back, he'll sometimes freeze the water for you so you can skip water sections. And sometimes water sections can be really difficult, so this guy is very helpful. Now that I've finished talking about animals, let's talk about the levels in the game. Throughout the game, as well as the normal levels, there are also secret levels. And unlocking secret levels can be a bit mature. One way I know to unlock secret levels is to collect those Kremlin coins and DK coins. A newer way is sometimes in certain levels you'll find an alternative route. If you go the alternative route, you'll find a different level. After you beat the main game, there's even an extra world to go through, which I haven't even started on yet because I'm just busy playing other games, and this game is difficult enough at the moment. So I just thought I've beaten the main story. I'll play something different for a while, like the Donkey Kong Country 3. Throughout the game, there are different Kongs which you can meet, and each Kong has a purpose, which is good. At least they're not worthless. Give me one more, I'll try and find them. Well, whilst I'm looking for the Kongs, I might as well show off the rest of this boss fight. I think I've almost beaten it now. Ah, got him! Bye-bye, birdie! Right, you two, now that I've slayed the giant pirate bird I can show off the helper Kongs in this level. This game. Okay, sorry about YouTube, I just had to go take care of something. Now let's pick up where I left off. Excuse me. The first Kong I want to talk about is Wrinkly Kong. Wrinkly Kong, her primary function is she saves your game. She's very useful, and Now that I've finished talking about Wrinkly Kong, let's go on to the Kong. Funky Kong. Well, Funky Kong's primary function in the game, he lets you fly the plane as long as you give him 2 coins. He's pretty useful if you want to go back to previous levels and just grind coins and grind lives so you can beat harder bosses as long as you have the money to pay him so you can go back. In the top middle, there's Cranky Kong. Cranky Kong, he just gives you hints throughout the game. He's pretty useful. And the other Kong that's not here, I can't really show you, but I think he's called Swanky Kong, and he gives you quizzes, and if you manage to answer the questions right, you get more lives. So he's pretty useful as well. Although, depending on which question set you pick, you have to spend more coins, but if you spend more coins on him, you get more lives. So it sort of swings and roundabouts, but it does help you out. There are some bonuses in the game. Throughout the game, if you collect 3 of these golden animal symbols, you can get to these secret areas where you can earn quite a lot of lives. So if you look out for them, it can really help. Right, I'll just use Funky here and fly to a different area so I can show off one last level before I go to my complaints. Okay, let's try this fire level. Get in there. Wait. Haha. Mate. Take that. Let's put this in the cannon and see what happens. Ooh, a secret area. Go on then, I'll try it. This is one of the mini-games I talk about YouTube. In this game, you have to collect all the stars. If you manage to do it, you get a little prize. Bugger. Oh well, let's get my favourite character out, the spider. Oh, one thing I always forget about Spider is he can't jump on enemies. It's in a platforming game, it's natural to jump on enemies, but in this game, the Spider just doesn't let you. It's kind of irritating. You've got to remember that the Spider can't jump on enemies. Open over. Hey. Let's do some barrel bits. The barrel bits I most of the time find difficult YouTube. Rather frustrating in this game. At YouTube. That's all the footage I'm going to show you. Now let's go to my complaints. Okay, now my complaints about Donkey Kong Country 2. Well, there isn't really that much to complain about. It's a really good platform. I had a lot of fun playing it when I downloaded it. But I do have some complaints. Complaint number 1. The game is sometimes very hard, and this may put some casual gamers off. The levels which are probably the hardest are the minecart levels. The minecart levels are really, really frustrating, and it's very difficult to get them right. You'll find yourself just wasting an hour on one level. I'm not kidding, seriously, I once wasted an hour just on one level. Damn you, minecarts! So, my first complaint is, sometimes the game is very difficult, especially those damn minecart levels. My second complaint is, you have to pay for quite a lot of things in the game. I don't mind paying to use the flying machine so you can get back to the levels. I don't mind paying for lives because you have to earn lives, so that makes sense. I don't mind paying for hints of Cranky. But one thing I do mind, Rareware and Nintendo, I do mind paying just to save my game. This is one of the most retarded ideas I've ever seen in the history of just doing a simple action like saving. Saving should be a simple process that you should be able to do once you reach a save point. You shouldn't have to go hunting for coins. Oh boy, that just really annoyed me. But other than that, YouTube, Donkey Kong Country 2 is a really good 2D platformer. And it's definitely well worth buying and well worth playing. It's only 800 Wii points. My rating for this game is a 3.5 out of 5. My next review, YouTube, will be grabbing our axes and swords and heading for the medieval times in Golden Axe 2. So, I'll see you then. Bye!